Hey, everybody. People are clicking on in here. What's going on, Kobe? So, just getting back from the Memorial Classic out at Delta RC Raceway. It was a ton of fun out there. That's one of our NorCal rounds that we had up at Delta. So, just wanted to go through with you guys what happened out there. Some cool things, the track, everything like that. We'll play you a little bit of what it was like out there. I'll flip it on over so you guys can kind of see Delta RC Raceway. But this was our third year out there. The rounds before were always on Memorial Day weekend, so we wanted to make it a standalone event. So now it is. So we'll have it again for next year. It was a really cool track, and we enjoyed it. And they have amenities there like camping, full hookups. They've got showers, toilets, everything like that. So it's a awesome time out there at Delta, and we always enjoy ourselves out there. So special thanks to those guys for all the help with everything. So it was a little bit more for me. I kind of collapsed on Sunday after everything was said and done. My whole body went into like rigor mortis. I have someone coming in right now. Hey, buddy, I'm on a live session right now, but I'm at the shop.
I
What
got a question.
what's up?
I just wanted to know, who do you know that could apply a sticker kit on my body to my car?
I'd be able to help you out with that, but I'm on live session right now on Facebook, so I'll call you soon. Hit me up. Okay, bye. It's always somebody. Well, anyways, guys, so like my body like collapsed, like I was super beat. I don't know if you guys saw the videos, but I was running around. We really didn't have a water crew, so I was hauling around the hose, running around, putting out fires with everybody. We had a guy come in that had nunchucks. Some transient dude from somewhere, so I had to get my buddy Mitch and Big Joe. Yeah, that's right, like nunchucks where you go around. So that guy was there, so we had to get him out of there. And overall, though, it was a really good weekend. We had a good time. I think overall between 8 scale and 5th scale, we ended up having almost, I think, 90 to 100 entries overall. So it wasn't bad. The track was really fun. We had a good time. I believe all the 8 scale guys enjoyed themselves as well. We ran them all on Saturday, and then had 5th scale Saturday and Sunday. What's going on, Doug? Yeah, Doug was out there. Let's see if we can show his comment. Yeah, thanks, Doug, for coming out. It looked like the guys had fun. Let me see. We had, I don't know if everybody saw. Yeah, Daniel Fry commenting. That was awesome. We'll talk about that for years. So Daniel's commenting about the guy with nunchucks. So he had homemade nunchucks come in with pipes and everything, and like the the old chain from like a schoolyard for swings, where it has like the plastic sheathing on it. Like that's what the guy had for his nunchucks. That was the chain from that, and 2 metal pipes on there. They had dents in them. So we saw this guy, and I had to walk over, and I got my buddy Mitch and Big John. And if you guys don't know those guys, they're big dudes. So we were all walking through trying to get nunchucks out of the place there. So it was pretty great. It was real exciting. So overall, the event went awesome. We appreciate everybody for coming out. Like I said, I was super beat. Like my whole body just went in shutdown mode. I was limping and everything on Sunday from just pure exhaustion from running around. We had David come in, DJ Sendante. He did an awesome job announcing. That was great. I would say probably there's the good, the bad, the ugly for the event. I think that me having to deal with some drama that we were having at the track here and there took me away from it. So apologies to some of the 8 scale guys. I probably would have wanted to water a little bit more on that Saturday. We've been really improving upon our program. I would say another thing is we have to improve our program where how the heats are listed. because when we run the dual program, so some of the 8 scale guys and people in general might not know, and some of the 5th scale guys, and I'm trying to figure that out with the live program or the computer pretty much. So you guys can understand what I have to go through when setting it all up, is that for us, we're running 2 different programs basically between 5th scale and 8 scale. So obviously we run 8 scale on Saturday and 5th scale on Saturday and Sunday. Well, they both have 2 different formats. So 8 scale has Rocket Round, which it takes your 2 qualifiers and it takes your single fastest time, and that qualifies you into a main. And then we also have 5th scale, where 5th scale has 3 qualifiers and you have a main event. Well, 3 qualifiers takes your best 2 out of 3. So with that, you can't run one program to satisfy both needs. So because they're 2 different formats, the program doesn't have that functionality in it. So when you guys see it, that's why we had it on the paper where, it was listed 1 through, like, let's say 5 for 5th scale and 1 through 3 for 8 scale. And we had to mix them into each other to make it happen. But when you look on live time, or you look on when the race is up, it'll show a 5th scale race, or it'll show number 1 for 8 scale race. So we had to write that. So I'm working on a solution right now for that. I think, that is something that needs to be improved upon. If you're not looking and really paying attention what's there, I can see how that can be confusing. So we're trying to work on it, and bring it the best, the best event possible for you guys. And I think, throughout qualifying, it was working good. I was able to really pay attention to it. I was able to help keep the track watered on us on a good watered schedule, especially for the 8 scale guys. They need a little bit more water for traction than the 5th scales, and also keeping the dust down overall for 5th scales. I think we ran a good program as far as that. Going into the main events, the track seemed to groove up, so it wasn't too bad. My apologies for not, being up there. I just had some other personal stuff that was going on that I could not foresee. So that won't usually happen, but it is what it is. And then I think on Sunday went really, really well. We were able to water before every single event that was out there. We were able to have plenty of marshals. There was a couple towards the end, I think the A mains, because everybody was they're all pitting for each other, or they were racing, versus the A mains. I think that was probably one hiccup, but overall, we solved the issue of turn marshal issues. We solved the issue with the new program, because now everything is one class, for those that don't know. So basically, we no longer have, realistically, when you sign up, we no longer have a novice, sportsman, expert, and pro. What we were coming in contact with, what we learned over the last 2 years, is that we can't count on the pool of talent to be there to be able to have, like, an 8 scale, to be able to have, like, let's say a full pro main, a full expert main, a full sportsman, a full novice. And the thing is, and we'll meet this in 8 scale as well, is that you'll have guys that are kind of merging the lines in between those skill levels. So what happens is you end up having sandbaggers that might not belong in a lower level, but they don't think that they're quite fast enough for the higher one, but they never get to test their skills either against the higher level of competitors. So they always stay in their pool of, like, let's say 5 people. And then what that also creates is it creates disenfranchised people, because you have this one dude that's going wicked fast that they can't even keep up with. And then they feel like that guy's sandbagging. And then it's hard calling that person out. And so we're met with that, really, really bad in 5th scale the past couple years. So, and then we also have where we do go to these travel races, and we don't have the Chris Higas, the Kevin Enriquez's, the Bobby Villasenors, the Brian Sullivans, like those kind of guys of the pro caliber that might be coming to these to create a Brent Bisbee, Josh Mitchell. You'll see these at, like, a West Coast Nationals, or you'll see this at the 5th scale Worlds that they have. But you won't see this at these little big races that we're having kind of going all over, because these guys are either not traveling, they don't have the time, you're not able to get them there. So we have like a pool of like, let's say 1, maybe 2 pros that are kind of showing up, or for instance, 3 or 4 experts, so our classes then become expert and pro with like 7 people. It doesn't create good racing. And sometimes those experts beat the pros. So we found that we had so much better racing when we put everybody together and then let the times determine their actual skill level per event. It has eliminated our 4-person classes. It has eliminated our problems for turn marshals throughout the weekend. It has given us the ability to do 3 bump ups between each class and be able to fill the classes. So we're able to run 9 and 10 cars in a heat. It has totally eliminated sandbagging. It has given the ability to have just full-size events that are all competitive. So since everybody's against everybody, your competition went up like 400%. And you're versing people that you never would have thought before. And you're also surprising yourself because you're in main events where you thought with faster people that you'd never be in, and you're there. So that was a very good example with, for instance, I'll use Jessica Fry as an example. Jessica is always in kind of the sportsman level main. She's a fast sportsman. And she was able to qualify. She qualified into the sportsman level, and she bumped twice. She was able to bump out a sportsman, bumped out of the expert, and then made it into the pro main event. And for those differentiations, we have each 10 is a classification. So the first class, the A main, would be like pro, first 10. Then the next main is going to be expert. Then the next one, sportsman. Then the next one, novice. And then kind of you go down from there. And we never really have more than 40 fifth scale guys in truck or buggy at one time. You may have a little bit more, but it's never that much. So we trophy out for the top 3 in each of those classes. So as you move up, you get a trophy. So you have first, second, third, but like, let's say for instance, and Daniel Fry just brought it up, Sam, I believe it's Tanner, he also bumped twice, I do believe, in buggy. So he was able to level up basically, and these guys are or I think he might be talking about Sam. That might have been, he was in like beginner and sportsman. Now he just got, I believe, second in the pro class this weekend, out of Fear Farm, but up there. So it's really good to see these guys that might not have the confidence in themselves to say, hey, I'm that fast, but show it out on the track, where now they're competing with these guys that they never thought they could even compete with. So I think like Jessica might have surprised herself. I think she ended up with like a 7th in the pro main. Sam might have surprised himself. He was in beginner like 4 races ago. Now he was 2nd this weekend. So it really shows you exactly where you belong. And that's the spot that you earn at the end of the day. William Miller. Jaden Waters did the bump. So he bumped up twice as well. I think that was for him. Like, he's always kind of, I think, been in the beginner or sportsman class, and he went up 2-3 levels, and he's getting faster. I know William Miller, his dad's asking me, hey, how can you get faster? Because now you can see where you can really gauge yourself versus everybody. It's created really, really good racing all the way down. We trophy out for the top 4 divisions, which is realistically all we have. So that's like, let's say 85th scales. And then what's really cool is that as you bump up, your points get higher for the series. So we'll bring it in here to kind of show you guys the series points and how, as you bump, you not only can get a higher trophy, but you can also get higher points in the series. So it's just like an A main, B main, C main, D main. But I think that we've gotten into this whole class division thing that's almost hurt us more than it's helped us, because I understand that we want to make everybody feel special in their skill level, and that they're still able to compete with like fast people. And this is kind of the perfect way to do it from what we've seen. And we've had top 3 bump. So we take 10 to the main. So 7 go in. So all the way down. So we always have marshals. Like, it's just really been good. Some people have kind of been turned off from it, from what I've heard, where they just don't understand it. But as we kind of get further along and people see the advantages of it, it has been really, really good for the community. From what we've seen at every event that we've done so far, it's just more so surprising people of where they're able to go to, and a lot of new people on the podiums, which is good. Because before you might see some guys that might be sandbagging, and not to their own point where they're doing it on purpose, but to the point that now they're forced to try and level up rather than keeping themselves back on their own perception of themselves. So that's been really good. So let me see. We have Rob here. Rob Mouthbone. We had about overall almost 100 entries there between 8th scale and 5th scale. There were almost 50 each, I think, in each. So it wasn't too bad at all. I think it was our biggest delta round yet. David Bada, you got duped. Yes, I'll show you guys. They played a trick on me in the 5th scale truck class. Unbeknownst to myself, they ended up having where they all made a pact and conspired against me, where they all cut the track. And I'm the only one, and I went up, and they all cut the track, and I started last, basically, in the truck main, being that I got sabotaged. So that was pretty good. And I'll show you guys that one here real quick, because it's actually pretty funny. And once, you should have heard me on the microphone. If I was mic'd up, I was very impressed about how I got duped there. Let me see if I can get the full screen action here. I will share this over to you guys. I'll shut off my mic real quick. Possibly you might be able to hear it. So you'll see here, so this is the truck main. I think we're all lining up still. All right. So you'll see here, they're getting everything dialed in. I don't know if I can show the... Hopefully it doesn't echo. If this echoes on you guys, let me know. Yeah. I think it's echoing.
Then Rosie, then Stephen Smith, and then Kayla. Kayla, you are next. Kayla, you're in the next starting position.
That's bad reverb. So you guys will see what they did. All right, here's the start of the race. There we go. So they'll start it, and they sabotage me here, guys. And they played a trick on me. So this is my truck right here. This is Mitch Mitchell. So I go, this is me, and they all go and cut the track. Look, this is still me up here. I don't know what happened. So they start the race. I'm over here. I don't know what's going on. And then this is me. I come up here, jump the track, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm way behind. So they've started the race without me. Little did they know, but there's a set minimum lap time. So you'll see myself and Jessica are in the lead here because they actually went lower than 10 seconds on the lap time. So it's kind of sabotaged himself. But I ended up telling my pit guy, I'm like, hey, delete my laps that I had because I haven't caught him yet. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. He goes, we were just playing a trick. And I'm like, no. I need you to delete the laps because I have not caught these guys yet. So I ended up starting in last and having to catch up to Mitch Mitchell. That's right here. And then Carl's in second here. So those two are in their lead. So you'll see. And it ends up that both myself and Jessica we get docked a lap, what have you. So Mitch and Carl are in the lead. But it was pretty funny. They thought they were supposed to restart the race, but the announcer ended up just keeping it going. So it kind of backfired on some people, but it was pretty funny. I got a good kick out of it at the very end. So you could see the track out here at Delta. We kept it watered throughout the weekend. It was a nice flowing layout, no huge jumps, which I really liked actually. It was mellow, but it had really good flow, nice down sections, landers and everything like that, where you're able to drop down. Nothing crazy fast, so there weren't a ton of broken parts, which was really good. The tire wear was extremely low since we kept it watered, and it was just a really nice facility overall up at Delta. So it was pretty cool. They got me good on the trick. They got me really good on the trick. There's my truck right there. So I'm trying to catch and pass people. I got the gaggle of white cars in front of me here. So fastest lap times of the weekend, it was actually myself and Daniel Fry. We both pulled 24.6s. So Daniel pulling it in the buggy class, I pulled it in the truck class in the main event. I don't know in qualifying, but both of us I know in the main had a 24.6. So it was a pretty, and our minimum lap time, I think I said it like 20 seconds or something like that. And I didn't check the 8 scale guys, but I'm sure they were around that 24, 25 area. Overall, but the track held up well. There was some divots at the end of the straightaway, but we were repairing everything as best we could after the day and then watering at night. So we had the full live coverage out there doing interviews at the end, getting a lot of people, trying to get people into the hobby overall. And my goal with these 5th scale championship races, they are their each standalone event that we like to put on and kind of show the community what, the level that we want to be at, as well as hopefully cultivate club racing in these areas, going on before, after the event, and make it happen where we can get more 5th scales out there. So we really appreciate the guys that do come out, like these 5th scale guys and 8 scales for that matter, because 8 scales are a good feeder group for 5th scale, as well as they see the community and the laid backness. Like, we're super laid back in comparison to any other group that's out there. Whether it be 8 scale, 10 scale, we're so much less serious. And it's just a really good time. Everybody helps each other. Just even, for instance, the camaraderie and Big Joe and Mitch coming when I needed their help with the guy with nunchucks. So, so it's just a really, really good and solid community overall. So, but yeah, appreciate those that did come out. I know it was a drive for many. Special thanks to the Fear Farm guys. They traveled the furthest. And there was quite a few of them out there. There was at least like 6, 7, 8 guys out there. So you guys really, really, really made it happen, because we didn't even have some of the SoCal guys coming down. So we need to try and get those guys to travel a little bit more. I think hopefully next year we'll have even bigger event for the 5th scale side as well. Thank you to all the 8 scale guys for coming out. That was a really cool turnout. We had even more people than the previous year. And I think I'll end up probably bumping down maybe a minute in time so we can finish a little bit earlier in the day for the 8 scale guys. Yeah, Jake Alton. Yeah, there was a nunchuck guy, dude. He came out of nowhere, and the dude had nunchucks. So we had to deal with that. If I can find it, hold on. Let me see if I can find the video with nunchuck guy. It's only fisheye camera, though. So it's only fisheye camera. But I do have where nunchuck guy and myself and Mitch are going to go find nunchuck guy. So this dude came out of the woods, guys, and he had a pair of nunchucks. So it was kind of not. It was kind of not like, this isn't standard. This isn't standard to have a dude with nunchucks. So we had to go and take care of that issue. All right. What? Q2. I want to say, was it Q2 or Q3? It was Q2. Q2 was nunchuck guy. All right, there we go. Oh, super screen. I like that. There we making it happen. Okay, I want to say, was it like, because we checked it the other day, was it like 40? Because it was, so during fifth scale, I think it was the 8 scale. I think it was like 140, I want to say. All right. In the lower corner, I believe this guy turns back. Yeah, so nunchuck guy's right here. Gonna come. We'll see him here in a second. So here's nunchuck guy right here. This is nunchuck guy with his nunchucks. So you can see the nunchucks right here. Nunchuck guy. And then myself, and so here's Mitch right here, and I'm right here, and Big John's coming over here. So this is us, and here's nunchucks. So we're following him. You can see the nunchucks right there. So me and him are following nunchuck guy, and Big John's right here. So nunchuck guy comes over here. He comes over in this section. He starts mad dogging our announcer. So you'll see nunchuck guy. He's right here. This is nunchuck. Here's Big John. There's nunchucks. Big John comes over here and posts up behind him right here. So John's coming over, making sure nunchucks doesn't nunchuck anybody. And myself and Mitch are right here. And this guy has his nunchucks out, and he's mad dogging our announcer. So anyways, we dealt with nunchuck guy. But luckily, it didn't get physical, and we didn't have to deal with his nunchucks. So I don't know if he's walking yet, but he ends up. So this is him. This is nunchucks. He comes and talks to me about how fast they go. Here's John. And then nunchuck guy gets along with his business, and me, Mitch, and we'll end up getting out of here real quick. We're watching what he's doing. But then we end up leaving to go make sure nunchuck guy doesn't do anything. It was pretty good. It was pretty hilarious. Let me see. Chris Nunez, our homie out in Iowa. Track looks fun. Yeah, track was great. Track was super fun. It was awesome layout. Thank you to the Delta guys. Nothing too crazy for anybody. You know, no high tire wear. Yeah, it went great. It went really great. Let's see. Rudy Rosales, did you sweep the leg? No, didn't sweep the leg. I didn't want, even though nunchuck guy was there, he'd have to use his nunchucks for that to happen. So, yeah, pretty good. Must have woke him up on the other side of the fence from Jake Alton. Yeah, he came down. He was screaming something, some profanities as he came out of the woods there with his nunchucks. So that was pretty great. So yeah, guys. So ended up where we also have now LCQ. So let me see if I can find the LCQ for you guys if we kept it going. So for those guys that don't know, LCQ is something that we started up at, I want to say it was it was at Fear Farm. So we started up an LCQ that is, let me exit that out. Get me big here again. All right, so LCQ, guys, is something we just started up, and I think it'd be good for, honestly, the entire community, for RC in general. And especially in 5th scale, we have where a pool start breaks. You break an arm before you even start. Something stupid happens. Like, it's 5th scale. Maintenance is key, and sometimes S happens before the run. So we've started doing an LCQ, and we did it for 8 scale as well, and it goes for every round. Let's say something doesn't work out for you. We all spend a ton of money, a ton of energy, a ton of time, and what we want to do is race at the end of the day. So something happens, and we've all been to races where they'll end up starting without you. Hey, you don't even get a minute. You don't get anything. Like, sorry about your luck. Good luck in the next one. It's just like, it sucks at the end of the day to not be able to start your race, not be able to compete. So at the very end, we've started to do an LCQ. So this is for guys that had clocked a 0 time. They weren't able to start, but we still want to get them with the time. So we create a heat at the very end, and we just throw them into that, and then they're able to get their run, which is awesome. So they're able to get their run. The only thing is because of the fact that they didn't start with their own people, they didn't maybe have a full heat of 10, something like that. They have a clear track. The track conditions are different. The highest that they can get is a 4th. So that's the stipulation that we have. That's the house rules, because we had at Fear Farm, we had a TQ come out of the LCQ from our own good friend Tony Bacon. So we saw that, and we're like, well, that isn't quite fair overall. So we ended up making, okay, the highest you can get is a 4th. So that worked out awesome for us. And I'm thinking about doing something like hand out tickets or something and have a super LCQ, which is, for instance, like, let's say you break down during a race and you want to go in the LCQ to get a better time. Because with qual points and rocket round, what have you, sometimes you only have, 1, 2, basically you have 2 rounds that you have to have good rounds. And if you're having shit luck, something's happening, you just can't get it, you just can't get a hold of the weekend. We're here for you. Like, we want you to have fun. We want everybody to have a good time. And at the end of the day, we want to promote the best racing. So the best racing is when everybody's firing on all cylinders, and it's not because you broke down. It's not because you weren't able to start the race. That's just crap luck at the end of the day. So the LCQs will be happening for the rest of the mod series into the future. It takes no more than basically an extra half hour out of our day to do them between everything. And it just goes so much further for better racing. People have more fun. They get a second chance. We do it for every qualifier, so it's not that bad. It's an extra, let's say 5 minutes around. They don't get water. They don't get anything. They're able to run. So that's the stipulation. So I think it works out really, really well for the LCQ, and not one complaint from anybody. Yeah, Jake Allen said Chase did LCQ. Everyone started side by side, and at a certain number of laps, top 2 guys got into the A main. Yeah, so we have bump ups right now. So we got bump ups through everything. You have to race into the main. The LCQ, where they get a last chance qualifier for each qualifier to try and get their best time to show where they rank versus everybody else. So I think we'll start up the Super LCQ. Come in the next one here, where you get one of those a race. So like, let's say something breaks or something, because what we have been doing is it has been like, okay, if you start and you clock a lap and you break, all right, you got a chance. That was it, but I can kind of see where those guys would like another chance. It isn't for the guys that would like, they ended up finishing their race on all fours. This is clearly where you broke down, something happened, something stupid. It just like, it happens. Racing happens. So we all spend a lot of money, time, energy to get out to these races. All we want to do is have a good time. So I think that's a part of it, and we'll be moving forward with that. So we believe in constant improvement with our events, and I think that's one thing that we can improve upon. So we got Darwin. Darwin was out there, one of the Delta guys. Thanks for a great race day, Matt. Thank you, Darwin. And we will see you out at the races, at some 8-scale races here as well. Let me see here. Brandon Wood, Woody. These guys have some awesome bodies coming out here, guys. So definitely I think they're called like light bodies. I'll be running one here myself. They're carbon fiber. They're going to be like freaking sick. I don't mean to push it out there, Woody. Maybe the 15 people checking it out. But you can get them on modspeedshop.com when they're available. Yeah, this format's awesome. Everyone ends up exactly where they should be in the mains, how racing should be. Yes, so it's exactly where they need to be. The new format's great, and and honestly, for those that have joined, we've had that where we've went to Delta and our pro main was 4 people for pro, and 2 of them broke down, or one or 2 broke down. That doesn't create good racing. That doesn't create something cool to watch. That doesn't do anything. We had at one of our good old boys club races, we had where there were 2 pros. It was me and Travis Brooks. And both of us were just, I think one of us, I think Travis had, and I've done it before, where it was myself, and I ended up breaking down and I think getting 3rd, but I won the pro main and experts beat me. But it's like, I didn't deserve that spot. I broke, but hence, because I ended up, I was the only person in the class. That's not fun. That's not, that doesn't do anything for anything. So we've been running that system for a very long time, and I can see it working out great at, like, for instance, DNCs and bigger events, that are boasting 150, 200, 300 entries, because you can hide it in that. You've got enough people to make up, those classes. With us, when we have 50 entries and we're trying to split it into 4 classes, and you always have a different caliber of guys show up, it doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't. I'm sorry. Like, it's and then you have like those classes, like when you run there, you shouldn't even have a pro class then. It should all be expert. You can't, always the general rule has been 4 people to make a class. For whether it be when they had it where it's like, oh, we need 4 people in 4-wheel drive buggy, But if you have all these guys and you only have, 1 or 2 pros considered of what they think that they are, it doesn't do anything for our community, guys. Like, it just doesn't. And it doesn't create good racing. It doesn't create good media. It just doesn't. So I think the way that we have been going, it's really been surprising people. So it's been great. As far as everything, we got Matt Jenkins. I love the event. Thank you, Matt, so much. I think Matt was one of our guys. He ended up winning the expert buggy class with an electric DBXL. That was awesome to see. He bumped up into the main, but he got that. That was pretty cool. Randall Morrow out from Arizona. Great racing, had a blast. Thank you, Randall. And then Chris Nunez, agree. Yeah, so it's, you're always going to have, don't forget about the grudge match format, LOL. That was a fun run. Yeah, grudge match is another thing. That's with a couple beers there, Brandon Wood. We had a grudge match out at Fear Farm. $100 on the line. But, yeah, guys, it's something that we've had a broken system for a very long time, and we're just trying to improve upon it. There's always going to feel guys that are disenfranchised or they don't feel that they're quite fast enough to be here or there, but it's also making people push a lot more. They're trying, once again, qualifying matters. For a long time there, for I would say basically every event that we've ever attended for fifth scale, 90% of it, qualifying does not matter. Like, there's only 10 guys in a class or less than 10. So you can be like, oh, I'm just going for grid position. It doesn't matter if I'm already in the show. It doesn't matter to me. I've done that before where I'm like, I'll sit out the next one. It doesn't matter. I know that I'm going to be with my 4 other guys that are here, 3 other dudes. Doesn't matter. And I've seen guys do that. I've seen guys, they come on Sunday. I've had guys at our mod events that come on Sunday and they're like, hey, could I jump in the main on Sunday? They end up coming with fresh cars. They don't qualify at all on Friday and Saturday. Practice nothing. They practice on Sunday morning. They get the track down. They have a fresh car and they go and they win, some novice class or sportsman class because they're already, they're a pretty decent driver and they usually go in classes that they don't belong in. So now if you sign up on Sunday, yeah, you can get in, but you have to race in like the E main or the D main, Division 4, and try and level up and bump up. And a perfect example was Travis Brooks, where he had 2 really bad qualifiers at Fear Farm, and he ended up bumping from like the E main all the way up into the A main. He got all the way up to second, and then I ended up breaking an arm myself being an idiot, and he ended up winning the pro main. So he went through all that and still won. So it shows that you really can be up there, and overall it's created so much better racing for us, better media. If you look at our Arizona, that's like one of the most fifth scales that we've ever had. And I think we had like 70 something trucks. So we had like a J main or something. So we saw guys bumping up, doing multiple bumps from there. I think Kevin Enriquez's boy bumped like 2 or 3 times. And the only reason he didn't finish that one because they forgot to charge his battery. But you could see people lined up around the track watching the racing because it created such close racing. So this, where we end up segregating guys dependent on how they feel that day, is not the proper way for us to go about this, because it does not create good racing. And that's what we want. We need to create good racing. And my buddy Jason is hooking it up right now. Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. We got some Fuji grill up in here. They have a spoon for miso soup. I got my food here, guys. This is awesome. Let me see here. We got guys commenting. Hey, okay, I'll sippy cup. That's okay. Hey, you. We had Fran Tiu, I believe him and his son race, and saw him out at Silver State. Had a blast, Matt. Thanks for having us 1/8 scale guys in your pro. Yeah, Fran. And don't be afraid for the 1/8 scale guys of how we can improve our program. I believe that I had someone come up to me, after the A mains, and they had liked how we ended up doing the format before, because then the marshals were really good for 8 scale. And then I ended up changing it because I had some 8 scale guys coming like, hey, are we going to finish on time? You know, with the sun going down. So I try to flip it up as best as possible to at least get them a little bit out of there earlier. But it did create issues with turn marshals. So I think, you know, for me knowing, you know, I always think of how can the racer have the best experience. You need a well-run program. You need a nice water track. You need turn marshals, everyone. The program's running smooth, and everybody has the most fun. Like, that's what I try and do with all my events that we host. And, you know, and I think for the most part, 90% we did that for 8 scale and 5th scale. I think that I could have improved the program a little bit, especially for the 8 scale guys at the end. Hindsight's 2020. I would have kept the same format that we were doing, because we would have still finished on time. I was just trying to do it so that the 8 scale guys had enough light, and that if we needed to, we would have bumped the 5th scale Q3 until Sunday morning. But it ended up all working out at the end of the day. Spoon! Thank you, Jason. So, yeah, guys. Was good. So let's see here. We got Matt Jenkins. This was our newcomer. I get the format. We spend so much money and time on our rigs. The last thing we want to do is not race. Even if we don't place top 3, we would still like the feeling of going around the track. Yes, for sure. Matt did I believe he did a bump up, as well as we had where Matt benefited from us waiting, because we got everybody onto the track. He had some issues with his battery, and he was in, I want to say, the B main sort, which was Division 2, and we allowed him the time to get out there to race. So he enjoyed that. He ended up getting his first place. So that wouldn't have happened. Same thing with Daniel Fry. Daniel ended up winning the Pro Main Division 1, and Daniel's motor gave out on him before his main event. He's like, dude, he goes, man, the engine's toast. He qualified second, came all the way from Vegas, guys. Big motorhome. Like, that thing's not cheap to fill, you know, and the last thing you want to do is not be able to race. So I'm like, well, shut him down, guys. We need 10 minutes. We finished it in 5, you know, so we were able to flop out an entire engine, put a new heart in, you know. But the thing is that some guys may complain here and there. I really don't care, because at the end of the day, you yourself would want that courtesy to be able to get out there on the track to be able to race, because what's another 5 or 10 minutes to our day, you know? So that was our, you know, that's the whole premise, is everybody has fun. You know, so like yeah, I don't care if anybody says, they're like, hey, let's get the programs. Like, you can be quiet, because when your time comes, and your time will come, you know, it happens to the best of us, you're going to want the same kind of courtesy of a couple minutes, you know, where all of us can band together and help you out. Because I was back there helping Daniel change out his engine. When Matt said, hey, I need a couple minutes to solder something up, we gave him a couple minutes. You know, it doesn't hurt us. You know, so I think that's one of the things that I don't like about the RC hobby and racing, is that we have become so heartless at some of these events, where they're like, oh, 30 seconds, a minute, you're not ready. Sorry, dude. And I know that you can't do that for every event. You got juggernaut events, you know, these guys have 800 entries. I can understand that. Well, all the while, those guys have enough time already to make sure their shit is running beforehand. With us, we have a little bit more lax program, and S happens. So we make it possible to make it so that they can get out there. Let me see here. Matt Jenkins. Tell Jason what's good. Hook up my 5T up. Yeah, thank you, man. If you need anything, go to modspeedshop.com if you need anything there, Matt. We appreciate your support. He says he's hooked up. JV. Sorry I missed out on Delta. I would have loved to join you guys for 1/8 scale. Please come back soon. You say here, I'm a novice driver and I'm outclassed by open fields. Yeah, what's great about that, JV, is that everybody is in the same class and you are parted by where you are. And then as far as speed, so you guys all get longer mains to bump. You're able to race against faster people, and that's how you get faster, is you race against faster people. You're never going to get faster if you stay with the same caliber of people. I think I'm going to eat here a little bit, guys. We got a good little... Guys, if you want to ask questions, ask questions. That's what I'm here for. We're going to go through the points here as well, with how the series works with points, because some guys, they might not know how it all works. Can you turn down the sound, Jason? I can hear myself talking. Perfect. Gonna be good food here, guys. All right, let me see if I can. I'm gonna getting all the sauces dialed in. All right. Napkins. Blue towels are the best for napkins. All right, let's see what we have here. Matt Jenkins. The biggest problem to me about even your turn marshals organize a better way for drivers to marshal so it can be smoother. Marshaling right after your race may be the traditional way, but it can be updated. Yeah, Matt, there has been times where guys will sit out one and then they're able to do another one. Being that sometimes people don't hear, sometimes people skip out, you have to always keep calling them. It needs to be where they just take their car, they shut it off, and then you come back out and marshal. Though we did water after each one, they still need to know that they need a marshal afterwards. And with how the program is set, we have it where it went buggy, truck, buggy, truck, buggy, truck. So if I end up having it where I skip one, it'll end up being, for instance, buggy, buggy, and they'd already be in that next one. So it couldn't work out that way. You always have to have it where you end up, where those guys that are having that, where they're able to marshal. Mr. Coachella. Thanks for the great job and hard work you put into making this happen. Yeah, thank you, Coachella. You're getting fast out there, man. And it does take a lot, dude. I was so roached out after that event because usually I had like a Fear Farm, awesome water crew. The Fear Farm guys did great. Bakersfield, awesome water crew. Guys did great. We're able to call upon them. But when I was calling it, it was like Matt Olson water crew and a volunteer. So it was, I think that really took it out of me, not having that extra little bit of help. We're going to improve upon that for next year. Because I like to be in the pits a little bit more, but I was always out on the track this time around. Besides dealing with some drama and nunchucks. Daniel Fry in reply to new set. Oh, go away. There we go. Bad luck lands on all of us time and time. Yep. See, that's cool what you do, Matt. My second race in 1/5 scale blew up and Matt tossed me an engine to race the main. Yeah, Chris, I think my engine was hurt when I gave it to you, but you were able to run. That's for sure. Let me see here. Are you going to repost the points spreadsheets? The points were posted and I reposted them within that thread there, Brandon. So because there was something up with Facebook and Android or something like that, nothing to do with us, but like I don't know why it wasn't updating. So I actually posted the pictures and the pictures look like they showed up. I'm going to show you guys the points on how they work here in a second. I'm trying to try and answer some questions. Mr. Kakela, what are the new changes coming to your shocks? So they're probably going to be a V4.5. That's to be determined there, Kakela. I'd be giving away trade secrets. But new stuff is coming. Sam Tanner. Yeah. All the AZ guys made it home safe. Yeah, I called Scott and I called Robbie. And also Scott was there with Randall. It looked like all you guys made it home safe. So thank you so much for coming in again. We just got home at 6:30 this morning. We were packing up. We were just totally roached out on Monday. We were no good to anybody. And then next thing you know, it was like 104 degrees. So we didn't want it. We just stayed in the trailer and like nap for a little bit in the air conditioning. And then ended up, we had to pack and clean all the camera equipment, all the speakers, wrap up all the cords. I had to get all the podium pictures out there and updates. And it just all takes time. Next thing you know, it was like 10 o'clock on Tuesday and we were heading home. So usually we do that, guys. Like, not a lot of people understand, but for some, this is like a 3-day event. For like our crew, it's a 6-day event. Because we have like getting everything ready on Wednesday, travel on Wednesday to Thursday, setting up Thursday and Friday, and then event basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then clean up Monday, sleep, go home Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's like our cycle. It's almost like a full week for us. So, and then we do the full live programming, bring in a professional announcer, do all this. So it really does help when you guys do come out and show your support and everything like that, because when we only get, like 40 guys or something, it's really hard for us to say, okay, let's keep doing this. Because it does take a lot of work and effort and everything like that on everybody's part to make it happen. So we do appreciate those that do come out. So way cool. Okay, so let's get to the points. Let me show you guys some points. We got the miso soup here. Oh, that's good. Did you get a miso soup? Jason?
Yeah.
Do you like miso soup?
Yeah.
Darn it. I was going to take your miso soup.
What, you want more?
Well, usually you don't like the soup. Okay. All right. Let's get to points here. All right. How do we? I don't know how to change it over there, guys. Well, we'll figure it out. Give me a second here. So for the points, what's really cool about the new system is that wherever you qualify, you can still level up for your points. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, we got points up. I don't know if we're able to. Let me see if I'm able to. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Let's see 2-wheel drive open and 4-wheel drive, for instance. So right now we're taking your best your best single round. So you can see the one that's in bold here. That's going to be your best single round. Best 2 out of 3 count. So you see with like John Engold here, he has 102 points. He got a 100, and you actually get 1 point regardless added to your total if you attend a race. So that's why he has 102. So the top 3, John, Chris Schaefer, and Carl Woosley, all are tied with 102. And then Roscoe in 4th there, Stephen Smith in 5th. So you can see that's a pretty cool little image there for you guys of what's going on. So then, for instance, we have DJ over here, David and Daniel. David got, you can see the little star there. So when you see a little star, that is a TQ. So you also get a TQ point. So if you can TQ and win, you'll get 101 points for the round. So that's why David has this 101, and David has completed 3 races, so that's why he has 104. But right now, he's got a 101, a 99, which that's not bad, but he has this 94 that's holding him up. So he's going to want to get rid of this 94 that's here. So he's going to need, so basically this is a throw out for David. He's not going to want that in his points total. So he has 3 more rounds to try and make up some good points. And a 99 might not be good enough either for the top spot. Because right now he has Daniel right here that trumps that 99. So Daniel could get a TQ and a win and then something else going throughout. So David's going to, this is the highest point. So that's a for sure lock in. You can't beat that. But the 99 can be beat. And Daniel's looking to make up some time. So he'll have his next one. So we got Sam Tanner there, tied, and all these guys. So the top 7 are within 4 points of each other. So if you have a bad weekend or stuff like that and you end up low, that could really make up some good ground for you. So with that in mind, we'll see how many else are. Okay, let's see here. Was that? Yeah. We can see all the way down. So this is how many people have been in it. 97, all the way down, up to 47 people. And even for 1/5 scale truck, same thing. And then you can see these guys are all tied. So 5th through 10th, or 5th through 9th, all with 100 points. So they can make up a ton of ground. And that's going to be, so we've done analytics on, let me see if I'm able to. There we go. So we're able to, we did analytics on the series race because we were looking at, because obviously we have a couple different sections that we go to. Everything's pre-planned ahead of time, by the way. We've got 6 races in total. 2 races are in 3 different quadrants. 3 times 2 is 6. So with that, we have 2 events in each region. So we got 2 in NorCal, which is CVR and Delta. We've got 2 Centrals, which we call it, which is Bakersfield and Victorville. And we have 2 on the east is what we call, which is Arizona's, which is Phoenix and Sholo for Cedar Hill. So 2 in each quadrant, 2 in each of the groupings, so that guys can at least travel to 3. So go to their 2 quadrants and then travel to a 3rd one, or maybe even a 4th or a 5th, but they're able to go to. So that's how it all works. And then you only have to do 3 out of 6 to be eligible for the overall point standings. So with that, you're going to see how we've got guys here. So all the way down until 16th is at 97. So we're going to trophy out for basically the top 20. It'll be so we'll do first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and this would be considered the Pro Division, Division 1 for the end of the series. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th will be Division 2, which is considered expert. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's going to be like our sportsman level. And then 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 will be like our novice level of guys, Division 4. So, and we did analytics on what we've done in the past for how many people have showed up. And it ended up being where we had, for the people that qualified with only 3 races, just where they made 3 races, it was like 25 to 32 people in truck, and it was like 21 to like 28 people in buggy that even qualified with 3. So with that in mind, if we podium out for 20 at the top 5 positions, you guys just have to basically we're able to rank you overall with that. So it ended up being pretty good. So for anybody, and then as you bump up, the more points you get, because everybody's classified together. So we trophy out for the top 4 classes, or the A, B, C, and D main. Trophy out for each individual event, and then you can get better points as it goes. So that's the best way that I can explain it. If anybody has any questions, I can answer them. So next up, we got Sholo, which is Cedar Hill RC. That one is a super cool track. Super cool. And I think we have some live coverage of it from Mod Live Media. Let me find this for you guys. Aha, look at that. The power of the tube. There I am. A little bit skinnier than I used to be. So this is Cedar Hill. This is what you guys have to look forward to. And I think it's even improved upon this time, because this was like their first race out there. This is their first race. And now they got lights, compliments of Sight Solar. Thank you to Sight Solar. They've got they did an all new track layout for the event. And so this is called the 7K Mountain Challenge, because that's 7,000 feet. That's for you guys out there. So this is a super, super fun track. Super fun. Let's see what we can get. That's the A main of buggy here. I think that's David out there with the mod buggy. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's 4-wheel drive truck beginner. So I think this was us. That's actually my truck there. So I would say this track, I would say the biggest hurdle to get over is the elevation for the tune. We had to really tune our cars a lot differently than we do down at sea level. We need to change the jetting or something. Matthew Speed. Let me see what Matthew has to say. Are those standings of all mains? Yes, Matthew. So we take, basically it goes all the way through. So you're ranked, from 100 to, 0, essentially. So that's your ranking for each one. So not only do we have trophies for each division, so groupings of 10 basically down to 40, down to the D main. So we got trophies for the top 3 of those, and then when you end up, like, let's say you bump up once and like you have a trophy, you get to keep that trophy if you bump again. So like, let's say you end up leveling up and you bump in another main, so it doesn't stop for you. If you bump in another main, then you forfeit your trophy in the lower main to the person next in line, and then you get that trophy and you're able to move on to the next bump. So that's how we work. That's how we work that. So this is Cedar Hill. Super cool track. And you can obviously see like the cedar trees in the background. Like, the best way I can explain it for everybody in California is like going to race in the Sierra Mountains. It's the same type of vibe. It's camping up there. I would say for anybody that's going to be going from our area down in SoCal, that you take like the 40 through Flagstaff and Needles or whatever it is. Don't take the Phoenix Way. It's a horrible decision. You have to take like a 1 or 2 lane uphill highway all the way, and it sucks. For those out there. I don't know why. Oh, that would be why. I'm like, why is my laptop not charging? Well, because it's not plugged in. So yeah, so this will be our next stop. This is happening at the end of the month. So the 25th, 26th, and 27th of June. That will be when we end up having that one, and we'll be racing 8 scale as well. So we'll have 8 scale and 5th scale. 8 scale will run all day on Saturday, as well as with 5th scale. And we will have lights, so there will be no issues with finishing up. We'll have the LCQs. So LCQ, where you're able to get in your runtime. Our main thing of this, guys, is just to create a better experience. We want to create a better experience for the racer, for you guys, and do it in a logical fashion where it's not, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't hurt anybody to give them a little bit more time. It doesn't hurt anybody, to make sure that they can get their run in, I think that's one of the beauties of it, is that we're going from a racer's perspective, not from somebody that's just worried about, time frame or something like that, where you have a human aspect to it. So for those guys out there, just if you guys have any questions, concerns, post them up. Anything for us on this next event series race. This will realistically be our furthest race, from the central zone, for Sholo. Not so much for AZ guys. I think it's a couple hours for them, but same thing goes for the NorCal guys. So, it'd be cool to see whoever we can to come out there, because it is a really cool place. You can see up in the background there, you can see the you know, all the trees in the background, and it's just a really, really cool spot. Really cool spot. And this is Scott Yates's track. Yeah, I love this track. This place is super cool. And then up next would be, if I could go and find it. Yeah. So this is CVR. This is a super cool track. This is out in Madera, California. So for those out there, this place is really, really nice. More of an 8-scale style track, but you know, easy enough for the cars. Able to make all the jumps. But I think it's really cool when you do go to these style tracks, where it teaches you a lot of things. That's you know, kind of the beauty of these series, much like the JBRL, much like this one, that you're able to travel and see new places, experience new people, and then it teaches you a lot from setup to driving style to track layouts, and kinds of makes you a more potent driver. Because if you only stay in your bubble, you never kind of advance to the next level. At least how I see it, because you're always facing the same guys. You're always on the same track. You know it. You know, you've had 1,000 laps on it. But when you go somewhere new, it kind of gets you out of your comfort zone, and where you actually have to start learning, you know, something else, and just makes you a more potent driver for even your home track. And then helps cultivate, you know, hopefully some fifth skill, you know, out in the general area. They can try and get some club racing going. That's the goal, you know, of this, is to get more people, and also to know that these tracks, you know, exist in these places for these guys. So it's a pretty cool system. And then obviously we have SoCal Nitro, and this will be our finals. Okay, here is there's this one. I don't know why I had that bar so low. Yeah, so this is SoCal Nitro. This is a really cool track too. So each of them have their own attributes to them, their own cool things, and brings out a variety of racers, which is really cool. All right, it's Brent Frisbee in the... Oh, no, that's Little Bear right there. Someone's shaking like a leaf in the right-hand side there. Oh, Shear. He's not there. He's not in this race. I don't know who that is. Yeah, so that's also a cool track. That was 2020. Here was 2021. Stupid commercial. That was a Pro Truck main. That looks like little Buddy Christensen in third right there. Yep. And Brent Bisbee ahead of him. And I'm in the white truck coming down the hill. So yeah, a lot of different variety of tracks here. So it's pretty cool to see. Well, anyways, guys, I think we just about went through everything. Love the event out there at Delta. I can't thank those guys enough for a really good time. We're going to be going to Cedar Hill at the end of the month. Be there, join us, everything like that. It should be a ton of fun. Really good guys up there. And we'll be getting posted here, creating an event page, making sure people are RSVPing. That is really, really cool. That is the first time, this is the first year that the Mod Championship Series will be going up there because the track just started last year. But Scott's a really good dude. And we want to get up there, put on a show, and really have a good time. So we appreciate those guys. We appreciate everyone for their support, for going on modspeedshop.com, supporting us there as well. Big things to come in the future. We have a lot in our sleeves right now for getting some products done, new things that are coming. So, and hopefully new experiences. We want to try to always improve upon our events and everything like that. And I think we've really gotten our media good. I think our programs getting solid here, where we're nailing down to something that's really, really good. And, our human aspect to it, where we are really taking in consideration the fun, and this is supposed to be fun. And if we can help people, we're going to, and really just taking it to the next level for the experience that you get at an event. So we really, really, really try and push that home at every event. And some guys, you'll see some that get mad, when we wait for people or something like that. We had some people comment about that. And at the end of the day, doesn't matter to me how everybody's experience for racing and getting able to race. That's my biggest thing, is everybody's able to race. And if somebody doesn't like that, well, they seem like a crappy person to me. So we want to have everybody race at the end of the day. I think that's right, and should be good. So let me see. Got Scott Yates here. Thank you, Matt, for all you do. If anyone has questions about the track, feel free to hit me up on Cedar Hill Facebook. Yes, go and like their page, Cedar Hill Facebook. Scott Yates is the main man to talk to. They also have deals on there for the hotels, and I'll jump over to that real quick because I think he has it posted there, so that those people can see where there are. All right. So you can see here, we got Cedar Hill, countdown begins. Yeah, here we go. Ooh. That didn't work. I'll go right back there. Okay, so Beth Sears. Looks like the Hampton. So basically at Cedar Hill here, you're able to there you go. Able to see who and what it is. Beth Sears, general manager. Call them up. It looks like we're getting 20% off. Just mentioned Cedar Hill RC for those dates right there. Super cool track. So give them a like and a follow. Cedar Hill RC Raceway. Place is awesome and should be a good time. Let me see. Matthew Speed mentioning something. Couple guys starting up fifth scale on the East Coast again. Yeah, I know Keith Edwards is out there. He's got something going on. Check out the arena, Rock Hill Raceway, and if you're traveling back out, the race schedule. Check out the race schedule. So appreciate all you do. Thank you, Matthew Speed. Yeah, so there's some races I know coming out for all the East Coast guys. Check out those tracks that he's saying right there, but also I know that Scale Motorsports or Scale Racing SRS, Scale Racing Sports, that's it. Our good friends over there, they have the Summer Sizzler coming up, the Blue Ridge Nationals, and then one more that they have, and I think they're racing fifth scale at every one of those events as well. So if you guys want to jump on over there, check out all the races that are going on. There's a lot happening other than just on the West Coast. So make sure you guys are going out there and supporting. And as always, if you guys need help with anything, we're here to help. If you guys have any questions on products or anything like that or setup, I'm always here. And then also, if you guys need parts and stuff like that, hop-ups, we have them all on modspeedshop.com. So we really appreciate you guys, and it keeps us afloat to keep doing these events and everything like that. So we appreciate your guys' support. A bunch of us are going to Blue Ridge Nats. Yes, I think, Matthew, that I might be as well. I want to say, let me see if I can find it for people. Yeah. Show it for those guys that are out there. This is a cool one. I went to Blue Ridge Nationals last year, guys. So it's under Scale Racing Sports. You can find it here. Go and like and follow them. Yeah, this place is pretty rad. I could actually show you a video, actually. Yeah, there's me. That was a fun race. There's a good friends right there as well. Here was me jumping over them. That was pretty funny. I don't think this is OSHA. I don't think this is OSHA approved. For sure is not OSHA approved. I was jumping over them. They said, hey, why couldn't you jump over us? Yeah, this was Blue Ridge National. So it's a big arena style, so you won't get rained out or anything like that. Whipping over them. Yeah. That was a cool track. Getting big air. So that was a very, very cool place. No problems making all the jumps with the fifth scale. Easy. Actually, everybody was really surprised. They're like, oh my God. I didn't know they can move like that. Yes, they can. Huh. Yeah, that was a cool race. If you guys can make that out there, that's Josh Garbert. He's a really good dude. So check that guy out. Josh, he's a good dude. My truck was on point that weekend. It was so good. All the 8-scale guys are like, if I can get a truck like that, I would race them. Yes, you can. They're rad. So smooth. That truck's on. Love Eleanor. Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool race. Yeah, so Scale Motorsports, Blue Ridge Nationals, that's fun. That place is dope. So let's see here. Blue Ridge Nationals, October 29th through the 31st. So that's right after West Coast Nats. So I'm going to try and make that one. I will try and make it. They also have the Summer Sizzler coming up on the 23rd to the 25th. Those are no, those aren't the same dates as ours. But Blue Ridge Nats will most likely be at that one. I'm going to try and make it to that one. Once again, for all my friends out there. Super fun times out there at Blue Ridge Nationals. Let me see if I can find them. So we had a pit lane cam, mod live media stuff dialed. As when COVID was going on, we had the COVID screens. Yeah, so you can see the facility. It's absolutely massive. So this one is super cool. Got the 8 scales out there. Let's see where our 5th scale race was. Interviews, had the interviews with the kids. Only the best of times, guys. Pit lane cam. My dad was helping me film at that one. Many events, my friends. Many events. Always a good time. All right, all right, all right. Thank you, Karen. Saying my dad's the best. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, he's great. And you can see how they had the barriers up. I feel like I've gained weight since then, guys. I think I have. Not good. I need to get to the gym. Karen. Yes, I should be in Iowa, Karen. As I eat my sushi roll. Yeah, I should be in Iowa. Oh, yeah. Another big race for you guys. There is Tony Bacon's race, the TBRL. That's going to be a cool one for you guys. Let's find that one on the YouTubes. Here we go. The Midwest Fifth Scale Shootout. This is a cool track. For you guys out there. So this is going on in Iowa for everybody. My Dr. Pepper's watered down because it froze. This is Tony Bacon's track. Big track. Pretty cool. Goes up the side of the hill, as you can see. They kind of incorporate a lot. So that is a fun one. I know a bunch of the West Coast guys are going out to that, which is pretty cool to see. Guys like beat it. Yeah, so that was a super cool race. So the TBRL is going on. I got it on my calendar here. I think it's end of July. Yep. July 29th or July 30th, 31st, and 32nd. So end of July, last weekend of July is the TBRL race. So that one will be crazy cool for everybody out there. So lots of cool races, guys, coming up. Make it to our next one up at Cedar Hill. I know Good Old Boys has a club race coming up too, I think on the 19th. But yeah, the race at Cedar Hill for the next MOD Championship Series event for the 7K Mountain Challenge out at Cedar Hill RC Raceway in Show Low, Arizona. You're going to want to be at that one. It's going to be should be a really big event overall, and one of the biggest at that track for the year. So 8 scale guys, 5th scale guys, make sure that you come out and support for Cedar Hill RC Raceway. It's a super cool facility. Scott Yates is awesome, and everybody's great up there. So we'll see you trackside for the next time. We really appreciate all your guys' support for Mod Speed Shop, Mod Live Media, and what we're trying to accomplish with this entire venture. So thank you guys for everything. We'll see you trackside. Next one up, I think we're going to hit a good old boys club race, and then we'll be right up to Cedar Hill RC Raceway, making sure to help out all the guys and be there when you need us. So thank you once again for all the support. Grab any goodies you need for 5th scale, 10th scale, tools, everything like that on modspeedshop.com. We appreciate you guys, and have a good night.